Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG, otherwise known as Dracula. It's located on the east spawn of Malinovka, and this one is under the command of 73north of the WTWW clan. And we've got two replays featuring the same Arty. Game on! 15cm howitzer, slightly better than the Hummel one. 600 alpha on this, 39mm pen, and a 7.2 meters burst radius with between 10 and 18 seconds worth of stun. It also has a fairly quick reload, 25.89, slightly longer than the Hummel, but you can actually get 21.45, which is what 73north's managed to get. Now, he spotted a couple of enemy tanks going up the hill, but he's going to lose sight of them very shortly because of those trees. We do have an E25 who's going up to act as spotter. He fires his first round in at the rock, hoping to catch someone. There was a T28 prototype seen nearby, and the E25's actually managed to get onto the ramp, which is really useful. But I think that that E25 is going to need support from us. Okay, we're loaded. That looks good. Rounds out and direct hit. 176. Yeah, the E25 is going to find it hard up on that ramp, although he's going to get a lot of spotting in. The problem really is the fact that, of course, he doesn't have a turret, so he has to point in the direction of the enemy tanks. And we've suddenly seen a bunch of enemy tanks going up the hill. Now, this Arty does have a turret of its own. It can swing 26 degrees either side of the center line, so it's a 52-degree arc altogether. That's not a huge amount compared to some of the other Artys, which actually have a greater arc. It is still useful, though, because if you point the Arty in the right direction, there's nowhere in the arc that you can't get a shot on the enemy if they're fighting in that corner. Just a little late there, and a little short. Well, these guys here are trying to get shots on the Leo, who's gone a little way too far forward, and he's actually in danger because those guys could slide off the hill and do some damage. And he's got to watch out for the enemy Arty, which is an M12, who's also likely to fire a few rounds in that guy's direction. In fact, I'd be worried for his safety with that Panther M10. But on the other side of the coin, that Panther M10 is going to be a perfect target because he's going to have to try and shoot down at the Leo. And if he does, then we've got him. Yes, he is getting shots into the Leo. Okay, line it up and rounds out. Looks good. Yep, he has to stay there to get shots. And now we've got two tanks together here, a VK4502A, which was, of course, the Tiger 2 prototypes before they actually came up with the idea for the real thing, and an AMX M445, the French Tier 7. Okay. In fact, it's... It was a decent hit because he managed to get 162. Oh, that's 703. Leo's now suffering quite badly. He's lost a few hit points, but he has distracted them, and you have to look at that and say he's actually done quite a good job because he is distracting those guys, and he might be forcing the enemy to address him rather than address the tanks that are on our side of the hill. Good shot into the back of the AMX M445. That Leo's still in danger, though. He's asking for his teammates to shoot at the AMX, but they don't appear to be doing so. And a kill there for the Barask. He just took out the T69, and he's up on the ramp area. Now we're going for the Chrysler. This is actually turning out to be quite interesting. That Leo has interfered with the enemy tanks to such an extent that he's actually forced them to pull back from coming down the hill. They have got possession of the hill, but they're not making any advance because they're too worried of what might be coming up behind them. And in fact, now that VK4502A up on top of the hill is almost down to a one-shot. And in fact, now he is a one-shot. The next shell's going to take out that VK. We're looking at the 7032 at the moment, but just look at that VK. He is a one-shot. And then we get a hit on the Chrysler, but both of them get stunned. I just don't think our teammates can see them at the moment. That's one of the things you need to do. And the VK's gone down. You need to find tanks which are actually in sight of your teammates, so that when you actually hit those tanks and stun them, and then mark them for your teammates to see, they can actually get hits on them. Okay, he hits the AMX M445. Now he's marking it. That's good. Good. Marking the target tells your teammates that's the one I want you to hit. We can't see any of the other tanks that were up near the windmill, but I'm afraid the Leo has lost a few more hit points, but he's still slowing the enemy from actually making their way up the hill. And so a few more hit points for the Leo to gain. In fact, he's being rather unusual. He's really distracting them. That Panther M10 is desperate to get a shot on him, and he's actually hit him just now. But if he keeps moving about on that spot, he's going to take an Arty round. Rounds out. And he does. 80 hit points a splash. We're 2 up on the enemy. We've got control of the ramp. The enemy have basically stalled on top of the hill. We have lost the Leo. The T-25-2 finally got him. But they've lost the AMX M445. So this is rather getting interesting. Now, there's nothing to stop the enemy coming down the hill now. But I get the feeling they've kind of lost any passion for it. The Chrysler's sitting up there and just rocking backwards and forwards. In the meantime, the Barask and the E25 are firing on the enemy tanks. And our Panther M10 has actually moved up on the west side of the map and is now threatening their G2. And in fact, he's killed the G2. So the enemy Arty is now paying attention to him whilst we go after the Chrysler. Now, unfortunately, a lot of these shells are not hitting the spot on these guys. That T20 down near the E25 and the Barask is a bit of a threat. Ideally, we could put him down. Oh, the E25 just went. And he got taken out by the Panther M10 on the enemy team. He's up this hill. There he is. We've hit him before. Let's settle. Rounds out. And our Barask has had to drop off that hill and is pulling back by the lakeside to get back to the ramp. Meanwhile, we've lost sight of the others because, of course, we've got nobody spotting up the hill. So we can't see those ones at all. We can only see what our spotters are actually showing us. And finally, we get an eyesight of the Chrysler. That's a direct hit. Now he's starting to get the hit damage. Not a lot of stun assists so far, and he needs that stun assist to get a high mastery. There's the T28. Line it up and rounds out. Looks good. Lands just behind him. Oh! Now the T28 managed to work out the azimuth of the shell, and he fired back a shell along the line and caught us. Most of our hit points have gone from a 90mm round. Is that 90mm? That could be a 105mm round, actually. No, I think it's a 90mm round the guy fired. It was an arm-piercing round. That T20 is now one shot. Land a shell near him and he'll die from it. Splash. In fact, he did. Somebody else got him. The T20 on our team got him instead. Okay, we can... Oh, I was going to say we could take out that T28 prototype, but nope. The SU-130PM on our team got him. And now the enemy team is starting to fall like 9-pins. Let's get this Chrysler, get him stunned. Good. 85 hit points. He's marked the guy again to say he hit that target, but our teammates are just not interested. Okay, the enemy Arty's been spotted. And he's going up the hill. Okay, there he is. A very unusual choice, but I think it's because he feels that his area has been threatened. That was a bit shallow. Barask is moving up again to get onto the ramp. I wish some of our other teammates could actually move up. They're just sitting back on the red line, not doing anything. There's plenty of targets out there they can hit, but it's only the Barask, the Govica, and the Panther M10 who are actually doing anything in this game. Everyone else is just sitting back and watching. This is the most inactive team I've seen in a long while. Well, that wasn't fully dialed in when he fired that one. I mean, he's marked the target to say it's stunned, but nobody's shooting because they're all sitting back. It's like they're waiting for other people to win the game for them. Okay, there's an IS-22 out there. He's actually spotted. He's right near the church, but it is a target. Now, you only get 30 rounds of ammunition with the GW Panther. It might actually be that we might actually end up running out of shells. And in fact, they're now saying to the Panther M10, go cap, because all the enemies appear to be actually moving up the hill. And there goes the IS-22. Now we're going to hit the Chrysler again. Rounds out and direct hit this time, 214. That was a good shot. He marks the target, but nobody's shooting. No stun assist. This is a dreadful team, I'm afraid. There's only a few players who are actually putting in the effort. One of them's that Panther M10. The other's the Barask. The E25 was one. And, of course, 73north is one of them as well, because, of course, he's pumping in these Arty rounds, but nobody's doing anything about them. And, again, he marks the target, but these guys ain't shooting. This is dreadful. There goes the M10, or the M12 rather, taken out by our SU-130 PM. And now the enemy is starting to fall apart. The T-69, it's the last medium tank they've got, and then it's the Chrysler. So we're going to hit the Chrysler again. And it goes shallow this time again. So there's only two left on the enemy team. Their T-69's decided to go Rambo. He's decided, I've had enough. I'm leaving the Chrysler. And he's gone. And now it's just the Chrysler up the hill. And our team have finally come alive with only 2.5 minutes left to go. And they're finally moving to try and finish this game off. And at last we get some stun assists, but that's the end of the game. There are times when I can imagine the frustration of the players who sent me these replays when their teammates did absolutely nothing and they did all the work to try and win the game. This is what happened with 73north in this game. He got a first-class tanker out of that game, as well as his first mark of excellence as well. A Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9. And he got a Confederate from hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And a win rate of 2,535, which is Unicum standard, but his teammates just weren't working on that day. He could have had an ace tanker if his teammates had been hitting the tanks that he was stunning earlier on in the game. So I really do feel for 73north at the moment. If we look at the team scores, we can see that the big players were the Barask, who managed to get the high caliber and 3,797 hit points. Second highest damage went to that Panther M10, who was really doing well. He got a steel wall, and that's amazing in a Panther M10 because it's not very thick on armor. 2,924 hit points went to him, and the third highest damage went to the Panther M10 on the enemy team, 2,361, and he spent most of the battle trying to stop our Leo from dominating their side of the battlefield. So we can see that 73north, he got 2,259 hit points. He was beaten by only one player on the enemy team, 2 on his own, which puts him in 4th place when it came to damage. When it came to kills, though, it was the Panther M10. He did 5 kills in that game, 1/3 of the enemy team. 3 kills went to the Barask and also to the SU-130PM and also to the Chrysler GF on the enemy team. And when it came to 73 North, he didn't get any kills at all, but that did help him to get the Confederate. When it came to base XP, we can see the high scorer is the Barask with 1,546. Second highest, the Panther M10, 1,377. They were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. But guess who's in third place? Yes, it's 73 North, 912. So I think you can see that it was these 3 guys who were actually working the hardest during that battle to bring about victory. 27 shots fired. I told you there's 30 rounds of ammunition in the magazine, and he got through 27 rounds. I mean, it really does defy belief that he almost got through a whole magazine of rounds in that battle, and his teammates just weren't doing their job. 10 direct hits on the enemy, none of them penetrated, but he did get 25 splash. 2,259 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit, that's some T28 prototype, and that was a very lucky or very, very skillful shot, actually. It did penetrate because the GW Panther doesn't really have much in the way of armor. In fact, it's very thin armor, 30 millimeters on the sides, 20 on the rear, 50 on the front. So, yeah, any shell, 90 millimeter shell being fired back from the hill, it's more likely going to go straight through. 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, none were killed, 790 hit points of stun assist off 25 stuns, and that got him the first class. On a premium cat, he actually made a profit of 57,622 credits from that game, and he did get a 50,000 credit bonus. So technically speaking, he would have only had 7,622 without that mission completion, but 2,736 experience points out of it as well. But the best thing of all is he's got his first mark on the Arty. Now he just needs to get the second and then the third. So that's the end of the first game, and he was the 3rd best player on his team, but well, 3rd best player in the game on that one. But he provided good support for the guys who were working hard. Let's have a look at his second replay. The second replay is on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay. Okay, this one's tier 9 game with tier 7 tanks, so we're bottom tier, but that means extra opportunity to pick up extra XP, because of course every tier 9 tank he hits, he's going to get 20% extra XP more than normal. Okay, he's decided he's going to play from the west side of the map. That can work out to your favour sometimes in these games. And some of the enemy have turned up already. Okay, he's ready to go. That's a bit too little on the lead. You need to get enough lead. Okay, stop to take a shot. Rounds out. Looks good. Direct hit. Right on the money. 228. And he marked the target, but nobody's shooting. Again, this is a sign that there's a poor team out there. You know, you track a target and you stun him, and your teammates do absolutely nothing. Now, a bit of lead, rounds out, and a bit behind, but it did get some splash, and he got some stun. Just a little, though. Okay, we could suppress that GV, because I think he's probably going to come down the west side of the map, but we haven't seen anybody else on that side. And in fact, what we are seeing is a large number of enemy tanks in the center. They've got their light tank there, they've got a Scorpion G and an IS-2 shielded, which is a little unusual. The heavy tanks on their team are a Progetto 66 and a Patton, and an Emil 1951 and a T26E5. We should be seeing those guys in the town. In fact, the KV3 on the enemy team, which of course is a tier 7, is actually on the west side of the map. Again, that's unusual. And yet again, we have a huge number of tanks camping outside the town on our side of the map. And in fact, we've got our Super Hellcat pulling back on the west side, so it's not looking so good. I think we might need to relocate and relocate quickly, because I had the feeling that there's going to be an enemy tank coming up very shortly. Okay, there's a T-103 in the northwest corner of the map. He's making an advance, and he's actually in the open. He's being spotted by the ELC. And finally, a Super Hellcat comes out. Direct hit, good shot. 285, and he's getting stun assist. So at least the Super Hellcat on our team has recognized that there's a chance here. And one more kill shot, please. Go on, do it. You know you want to. Blind shot. Yes. Yes! Perfect! Blind kill. That was good. I always enjoy it when you see an Arty player get a blind kill from a tank who should have known better than to get into cover quickly. He didn't burn his repair kit or his first aid to get out of the trouble, but he just sat there and expected his tracks to heal. And all that's happened instead is he's taken damage. Okay, the Chi-Ri's now starting to take hits. That T-103 is really out of position as well. He's in the wrong spot. That should be where the LHMTV should be. He should be spotting in that spot and telling everyone where everyone is. The ELC on our team's pulled back. And in fact, now we've got the enemy Chi-Ri coming up through the bushes on the west side. Hello, Mr. Chi-Ri. Do you like a shell? Good shot. 245. This is much more like it. And his teammates on this side seem to be inclined to actually get shots on the enemy as well. Yes! Stun. Oh, no stun assist off that one, though. But we're about to shoot again, and he could take some serious damage. Rounds out. Could be a kill. It is! Second kill this time for 73north. That T-103 starting to take heavy damage. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull back. It's the LT-432 which is spotting him. And now we're going to have a shell ready for him. So take a blind shot. Well, he could have taken the shot there because I think that T-103 is fairly immobile and he's very low on hit points. Enemy Arty in this game is also a GW Panther, and we don't know where he is just yet. We haven't seen the tracer, or at least I haven't seen it. He may have seen it a lot closer. That T-103, they're indicating him now. And the enemy ELC's turned up over there as well. So now might be the moment to start firing at that T-103. You can see there's a fire going on. No, you fired there. The T-103, it's a lot closer. Look at the minimap. If you're not going after the T-103, the LHMTV's pulled back because he's very low on hit points. That T-103 is not going to last very much longer. Oh, and he's still firing at the back here. But he hits somebody. Somebody is there because that shell did not explode. It definitely hit something. Our guys are coming through the town. They're actually moving north and they found the Emil over in the corner. The T-103 is out of the game. So now it's just to try and find out what is in this corner. And there goes the GW Panther. So 73north did spot him and spotted the tracer and worked out where he was. So he's done a counter battery. Okay, there are now only 3 enemies left. And there's the Super Hellcat. Rounds out. Yes. Yeah. That was a penetrating shot. He hit the Super Hellcat with a 15-centimeter round and it did pen. I'm certain of it. The KV-3 is now seriously worried. There's not a lot he can do. He's the last alive. Rounds out. Here we go. It stuns him, and we're going to pick up stun assist off this one. And that's the end of the game. That was fun. Well, you can now see why it was a fun game, because that was the first ace tanker for 73 North in the GW Panther. Yes, he's got the scrolls underneath the M, and you only get those the first time, so well done. Congratulations. You've broken your duck, and you now have an ace tanker in the GW. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. And his win rate from the game, 3,406, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage. That actually went to the IS-2 shielded on the enemy team. He got 3,181 hit points of damage, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. Second highest damage went to the E50 on our team with 2,434. That's the tier 9 tank. And 2,170. Oh, it's not that one. It's this one. It's the pattern tank on the enemy team. Got 2,320 hit points of damage in third place. You can see that 73 North got 2,101 hit points of damage. So he did very well. The extra amount that we weren't showing originally on the figures was the blind shots that he made, and when he took out the GW Panther on the enemy team. And he wasn't having a very good battle, actually, because, yes, he didn't get any kills or any hit points of damage. So he might have been a noob who needs a bit of instruction to know how to do it. Anyway, 2,101 is better than, well, it's better than all but 2 on the enemy team. 2 on his own team puts him in 5th place when it comes to damage. When it came to kills, though, he's tops, and he shares the top spot with the LT432. Both got 3 kills. 2 kills went to the E50, the Tiger 2, the T29, and on the enemy team, the IS-2 shielded. And when it came to base XP, he's the only one to get over 1,000 base in that game. 1,061 went to 73 North. 980 went to the ELC 790, and he got a patrol duty. And 844 went to the LT432, and he was doing a lot of spotting as well. And they were both tier 8 light tanks. He fired only 12 rounds in this game. Such a much better result than in the previous game where he fired 27 rounds, but he only fired 12 from here and got an ace tanker. He got 8 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetrating shot, which of course we do know was that Super Hellcat who took a round, there it is, 625. 1 round went right through him, but it was a low roll. Well, slightly low roll. It wasn't a full low roll, but yes, it still left him alive, but not for long. 11 splashes, 2,101 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage set 4 of the enemy, kill 3, 1,035 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 39,963 credits from that game, so decent credits as well, and 1,591 experience points as well. So well done, got your first ace tanker in this game, and well, my condolences for having to deal with that horrible team in the first battle. You won the game, but it was only down to the 3 players who actually put the effort in to actually make the game win, and you were one of them. So yes, my condolences for that one, but that was much better. It's just there were a few times when I think you could have earned a lot more because there were enemy tanks in sight that were easy hits and you missed out on kills. Something like that T103 would have been an easy kill. I know that you were actually doing the counter battery on the GW because you spotted where he was. I didn't spot where he was, actually. I didn't see the traces coming out from him. Maybe the others did see him in the video, but certainly that T103 was an easy kill. And then obviously you might have got stun assist off that one as well. But other than that, it was a great game and it really worked. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.